Hi there, fans of Murder and Mayhem! Welcome back to Frybox64 Productions' attempt at the 31 Days of Halloween Challenge! I'm your hostess with the mostest, Frybox64, and today for our Halloween episode, I thought we'd switch it up a little bit. Now, one of the things I'm really passionate about that Gunter from Mini Mishaps could tell you, or anybody who really knows me could tell you, is that I love music, singing, and dancing. If you don't believe me, check out Take That Tango with Gunter from when he was doing partner dance. Or if you know me, you know how many times I've been out at karaoke singing my heart out. That might not be too good, but I love it anyway. So one of the things I thought I would talk about today, which kind of falls under Halloween, well, I should hope it falls under the Halloween theme. I'm assuming all of you know about The Nightmare Before Christmas, directed by Tim Burton. Danny Elfman did the score for that, and it's honestly one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, how many people have reviewed it, have gone over it, have done theories about it, but did you know that there was a CD that was created where different artists took tracks from the soundtrack to the actual movie and remade them themselves? That's what happened with Nightmare Revisited. This is a CD that I got, ironically, it was for my birthday in January, way after Halloween was done. But this CD has different artists. Each artist picks a song and they make their own version of it with following their own theme. And all of them kind of have that kind of creepy, kind of Halloween vibe to it. But today I thought that we'd take a break from the other like normal spooky stuff, and I just talk about something that I really love. And since I got my Rock and Roll Hall of Fame shirt on today, what better thing to talk about than music? So let's get right down to it. Here are, in the order in which they appear on the CD, here are my top 10 favorite songs on Nightmare Revisited. So the first one that pops up obviously has got to be the title song, This Is Halloween, by Marilyn Manson. That's right, Marilyn Manson did a cover of This Is Halloween, and oh my goodness, it's got that feel to it. It's got that, like, it takes the innocence of Nightmare Before Christmas, their little opening song, and it adds kind of this, like, almost grown-up, like, growly, like, actual scary, like, tinge to it. And, like, it's, of course, it's done in Marilyn Manson style, which is kind of that, like, harder, kind of, I call it scary rock, kind of like that harder rock, feel. But it honestly, it gives you so much adrenaline. It gives me such an adrenaline rush listening to it and singing along with it in the car, like, or going anywhere. It's honestly, Marilyn Manson just totally hit the nail on the head with this one. So then the next one we have is Jack's Lament by the All-American Rejects. Now you might remember them from Gives You Hell, or It Ends Tonight, some of their other songs like that from way back, like early 2000s when I was in high school. I mean, they were big when I was in high school. And when I first listened to them do their cover of Jack's Lament, honestly, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, oof, like I cringed a little bit. I was like, you're trying to capture Jack, but you're not quite getting it. I just kind of like, ugh. And then after I listened to it, and listened to it a little bit more, the more I listened to it, the more it grew on me. Almost like a fungus, you could say. And then the next thing I knew, I'd be like in the middle of doing something at work, and I would be humming to myself, to a guy in Kentucky, I'm Mr. Unlucky, and I'm known throughout England and France. Merci! So, and that's a funny thing. Like, they take that song and they do it in their own, obviously their own, I would say kind of whiny style, but they add in little interjections, like the merci during that part, or little stuff like that. So it's quirky and it's original in that respect, and I grew to love it after a while. So that's one of my favorite songs on the track now. Next we have Flyleaf, their cover of What's This? I know, and it's hard to not love What's This, where Jack is discovering the Christmas town for the first time. So what Flyleaf does, and again, they remind me a lot of Evanescence with their lead singer, but she takes it very slow. Instead of like the hyperactive, like, oh my gosh, what's this? They take it very slow. And it's like, what's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? And just like the range that this gal shows. There are moments where near the end where it goes, the monsters are all missing, the nightmares can't be found, and then there seems to be good feeling all around. She hits such high notes. Like for when they're singing about the smell of cakes and pies are absolutely everywhere, she hits such like a high note at that point, and then she goes back down to, and then there are other points in the song where she goes down like really low for like what's this? There's color everywhere, and I was super impressed with the range that this gal had with her voice, and again it's a very easy song to sing along to. So I would catch myself when like actual, like even watching the actual movie, I would catch myself trying to sing like the slow Flyleaf version paired up with Jack Skellington's fast hyperactive version. So, and I think the two, if you play them next to each other, I think the two very like complement each other very well. So that's gonna have to be something I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to play those side by side and see how that sounds. And then another one of my very favorite ones is Town Meeting Song by the Polyphonic Spree. And this is a group of people. It's not just like one person. There's like a lot of people. I think it's like an actual orchestral band or something maybe. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about them. But they take the Town Meeting Song, and where there was like a lot of like curiosity and everything, just innocent curiosity in the movie, they take that and it's almost like you've crossed over into the dimension where actual Halloween things would live in real life. It's almost got a Silent Hill vibe to it, if I'm honest. Like, it's definitely a bit slower, but the music itself feels very grandiose, like an orchestra. Like, listen everybody! Come here, one and all, listen to what I found out in Christmasland. And the guy that voices Jack, he's like, listen! And he's like projecting out very loudly, like, you have to understand what I found! And then you've got all the other different townspeople that come in and just like voice their opinions on things. And I love how they got different people to voice the different townspeople for the song. That was something that was really cool to me. And I think my favorite part of that song is where Jack starts talking about the toys. And the kids are like, small toys, do they bite? And it's just so creepy because that's what all the creepy children, you're just picturing all these creepy children just coming out of the woodwork in your head. And there's like I didn't realize this until I listened to the track a little bit more, but there's actually a kid that sounds like a wind-up toy. And when they start singing, you can hear like a little clicking of the key as it like winds down. And it starts out like normal singing, but then it's like, do they bite or explode? And then just like winds down. And I didn't realize that until like the third or fourth time I listened to it. But that was so cool. It was just a lovely little detail to put in there. And oh my gosh, another part that I loved about that song was when Jack was introducing the presents and how it's topped off with a bow. And you had what I assumed were maybe like young female ghosts or creatures that were like, or witches that were like, bow? But why? And you can hear in the girl's voice, which is like, how ugly. You can hear like just the gears working but not clicking as she's trying to understand why this bow is on this present, and then just the disgust in her voice as she's like, that's ugly, why would you put that on that box? And oh my gosh, it was just such a cool song, and I love listening to it, and that's why it's one of my favorites. There's just so many elements of that. Everybody in the Polysymphonic Spree came together and did a really great job on that song. I loved it. And now for a bonus track for one that I absolutely hated. The only one that I absolutely hated on the track. Jack's Obsession by Sparkle Horse. Oh my goodness. Like, if this is what the guy was going for, then I am gonna feel so horrible saying this. But it sounded to me like the guy found out the day before that he'd been selected to make a song for this, and then just quick threw together this thing, and the day of presented it like, here! Kind of like when you forgot that you had a presentation due, and you had the one person in your group that did all the work, like make them do it. Not like I'm speaking from experience or anything, but, hello, no, shoot, go away. You always gotta call me when I'm recording! Anyway, so basically how Sparkle Horse approaches this song, he sings very high-pitched and just sings the same do 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 do, same 5-note progression over and over and over again. And there are times where when he's singing, the words don't feel like they match up with the music very well. Like, they feel a little bit rushed in some places. And he tries to sing the whole thing in this weird, high-pitched voice. And his voice, like, cracks at several points. And he can't hit some of the notes that he's aiming for. And I just, like, I started out thinking, okay, this is different. I can live with this. But then the more I listened to it, the more I picked out, like, all the cracks and all the things that didn't quite vibe very well with the song. And I was like, oh, no, 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 switch it to the next one. So, Sparkle Horse, I am so sorry if you're watching this. It just did not vibe with me. It wound up being the least favorite song of mine on that track there, so, Alright, and then my absolute favorite song on the entire track. Kidnap the Sandy Claus by Korn. Yeah, I know, looking at me, you wouldn't think that I'd be into Korn, but oh my gosh, like, I love Kidnap the Sandy Claus on its own. Like, just on its own, in the movie, it was great. Take Korn and, like, speed it up a little bit and put in that, like, angry, like, actual murder music, and oh my goodness, that just made it perfect. I love listening to it. I love singing along with it. It's got that perfect balance of whimsy and I'm going to kill you that just makes it work, and I love it so very much. I loved it so much that, true story, when I was playing Dragon Age 2, I think it was like a year or two ago, and I could not get past the Act 2 boss battle fight with the Kunari, with like the leader of the Kunari, and I could not, no matter what I did, get past that. So I was like, you know what, that's it. We're gonna play some background music. That's gonna pump me up, and that's gonna get me through that. You know what I put on in the background? Kidnap the Sandy Claus by Korn. And oh my goodness, it was the best battle jam music, and I beat the Kunari warlord guy with that playing in the background. I totally think it was Korn that helped me get through that. But my favorite part of the song is when Lock, Shock, and Barrel are going back and forth, and Shock's like, I wish my cohorts weren't so dumb. They're like, I'm not the dumb one, you're not fun, shut up, make me! Korn, instead, they go, I wish my cohorts weren't so dumb, I'm not the dumb one, you're not fun, shut up! And they shut up, and it's like, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's just so perfect. I really don't think anybody could have done a better job than Korn did with it, so kudos to them. That's my favorite song on this entire thing. And then another one of my favorites is Making Christmas by Rise Against. Rise Against has been one of my favorite bands ever since I was in high school, so yeah, I guess I'm a little bit biased with them, but they take this song that originally in the original movie was just like, oh yeah, we're making Christmas, this is great, la la la, and they sped it up a bit, and it almost feels like a prep for battle kind of song. Like, it gives you this huge adrenaline rush, like we're prepping for something really big, and like we gotta make sure that we're ready for this, and I think my favorite part, because they start out like singing the lyrics and everything, singing the song like normal, and then they switch to the instrumental break where in the movie it would show Halloween Town versus Christmas Town as they get ready for Christmas. And Rise Against, what they do, they just like, They speed it up, they get your adrenaline pumping, and like it feels almost like superhero music. Like if you're like gonna shoot like an intro to like a superhero TV show or movie, this is the music that you would want playing in the background while your heroes are heading in towards battle or punching or fighting or firing off their powers. Like this is the music that you would want. Like my favorite part of the song is when they're voicing Jack, and let's see if I can channel that. Where he's like, hold on. Jellybean, no! Where I cannot catch a break today. Let's see if I can channel that. Where he's like, let's see. My compliments from me to you on this your most intriguing cat. Consider though this substitute of that in place of this old rat. Oh no, 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 not that's all wrong. This thing will never make a present. It's been dead for much too long. Try something fresher, something pleasant. Try again, don't give up! That's exactly how it goes. And it just gives me such a rush of adrenaline, like, yeah, we can do this, whatever it is. D&D battle, homework, cleaning the house, whatever it is, we can do this. And it's not my favorite, but it comes in at a very close second to Korn. I'm sorry I'm nerding out so much about this, but like I said, music is one of my passions. I love this. Okay, so then the next one that I absolutely love, Oogie Boogie song by Rodrigo y Gabriela. There are almost no lyrics to this version. Like, Oogie Boogie song in the original movie has kind of like a jazz, gambling parlor, like jazz kind of feel to it, and Oogie Boogie sings the whole thing. And honestly, if I could do like a jazz cover of that song for karaoke, I would just die. I would love to do that, like so much, like But Rodrigo y Gabriela, they of course, they put a Latin spin, a Latin feel on it, so it's speeded up, and it's got, like the strings and like the Congo drums, or bongo drums, I'm not sure, but it's got like the drums, and it's got the string music to it, so it's got a very Latin feel, so which speeds it up a little bit. You could probably do a pretty good salsa or bachata to it, but it's almost completely instrumental. You can still pick out where you're at in the song because the guitar plays all of the parts that Oogie Boogie sings. There's just one part where there's actual lyrics, where it's Oogie Boogie telling Santa, now with your permission I'm going to do my stuff. That's when Gabriela says, what are you going to do? And I'm assuming it's Rodrigo or somebody else, I don't know. But the response is in like this growly demonic voice, I'm gonna do the best I can. And then it launches right back into the music again. And honestly, where Oogie Boogie, the original song, was kind of something that you'd sit and listen to at a jazz parlor, like watch a gal like sing, like as she walked across the stage or something. This song by Rodrigo y Gabriela, this is something that you could honestly get up and dance to. And honestly, like, I might grab Gunter from Part Nerd over there and see if he'll want to do a dance with me to this, because, like, oh my gosh, like, it's just one of my favorites. And I love, like, picking out in the song where we're at and then just, like, singing the lyrics myself and just, like, putting that in there. So that is another one of my very favorite songs on there. And now, the one song that I so want to cover for karaoke more than any song on here, Sally's Song by Amy Lee. And oh my goodness, Amy just hits it out of the park with this, because where Sally, I gotta be honest, Sally's song in the original movie always felt kind of off to me. It almost felt like she was reaching for a couple of the notes. Amy is very comfortable with her voice. She's very comfortable with her range. And she sings this song a bit slower than it's actually sung in the movie. And again, it has almost like that Evanescence feel to it. I'm sorry, I compare all these bands to Evanescence, but that's really the only reference point that I have for these types of music. But there's, like, her range is very good. She goes from, like, very high to, like, very earthy, very low. And her, like, her ability to hold a note, oh my goodness, like, I envy that. Like, I when I worked out on a regular basis, I used to have good breath control, and so I used to be able to hold breaths out and hold notes out longer. I can't do that anymore because I don't have good breath control anymore. But if I could hold a note the way she holds it during the bridge, where she just does her vocalizations between will we ever be together? No, I think not. But when she does her little vocalizations between that, oh my goodness, I wish I could hold my notes as long as that. Oh my goodness, it's just very quiet, and you can almost like just feel that heartache as she's trying to decide, well, am I going to go be by his side? Am I going to go and go against him to protect him? Will he ever notice me? You can just feel that heartache, and Amy puts her all into it. So good job, Amy Lee. Absolutely wonderful job on the song. Like, I cannot sing my praises enough for this. All right, we're almost there. Number 9, Poor Jack by, drumroll please, the Plain White T's. I know. The first thing that's probably popping into your mind is Hey There Delilah. So how does Hey There Delilah wind up singing a Nightmare Before Christmas song? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. That's their agent. But I am so very glad that they did, because the first time when I was looking over the songs on the CD and I saw the Plain White T's were singing Poor Jack, I was like, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Really? Oh, no. That's not going to be good at all. Like, there's no way that's going to be good. And surprisingly, when I heard it the first time, it was good. Like, they are the Plain White T's. You can definitely tell it's them. You can hear the guy you can hear the Hey There Delilah in there. But at the same time, they capture Jack's essence very well. Like, it feels, because they sing more, I wouldn't say, they don't use tall vowels. They have very hard consonants, and they don't use their tall vowels. It's almost like singing and talking at the same time. But because they use that, they utilize that, they capture Jack very well. They emanate him very well. You can almost picture that you're in the cemetery with them as they're going through and lamenting the fact that Christmas is ruined and everything's bad. I'm gonna go and hide off in a cave there. Sorry. You can almost you can almost see that they are him, and it just flows very, very well. I honestly couldn't think of anybody else who could do a better job at this than the Plain White T's. And I mean, it's weird to say that, but honestly, it's true. Like, they do a very good job of it, and I really do like it. It made it onto my top 10, so yeah. And number 10, Finale Reprise by Shiny Toy Guns. And it's as it sounds. It's the ending of the movie where Jack comes back and he's fine, and they also put more of a horror spin onto it, with where the movie was very happy, very joyous. These guys, like, the song starts out with somebody whispering la 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 la, and then somebody else going la 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 la, which eventually escalates into a scream. Yeah, giving off real murder asylum vibes there. But like, it starts out like that, and then it crosses over into what I would call Cold Zombie Wasteland, where you can almost feel like the snow through the music as it's falling down on everybody for the first time. And of course there's screams in the background and everything. And then when they get to Jack talking with Sally, being all like, can I join you by your side, it gets very harmonic, and it's very nice, and it goes from being screamy, angry, and in horror to very harmonic, very nice, and very, very like, haha, this is the triumph, this is the end of the movie, the guy gets the girl, and it's all meant to be. And I love singing along to that last part. Like, just the way that they sang it, the way that they sounded, it was perfect. I loved it so much. Like, there are times when I will catch myself humming or singing along with these songs, just doing work or doing whatever, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love these songs. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. And I think all the artists, except for certain people, did really well on this CD. And they just hit it out of the park. And I just was very happy with this CD. So those were my thoughts on Nightmare Revisited, the CD of covers of all the songs on the soundtrack by different bands for Nightmare Before Christmas. If you couldn't tell, I love this CD and I love talking about it. I'm sorry if we got kind of off the rails on some of this stuff here, but I love music. I love music. I get such joy singing and dancing, and especially for a movie that I absolutely love. This was just the perfect combination. This was, I think, the best birthday present I've ever gotten myself. So thank you all for joining me and listening to me ramble on about music and stuff. But thank you all for joining me and listening to me ramble on about my music. I love it so very much. And I hope this kind of gives you a little bit of insight into the Nightmare Revisited music too. And I hope that you go and find these songs. And I hope you check out some of these bands and some of these artists too, because they are very good. And I think they need to be kind of spread out a little bit more. So again, thank you all for joining. If you like this video, if you want to see more music reviews, go ahead and give me a like. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to talk more about music with you guys. This is just one of my passions. And if you want, you can share us around maybe to somebody else who loves music and who might want to talk about something that they love. It's not 100% necessary, but it does help out the channel quite a bit. And hopefully we will see you tomorrow for more murder, mayhem, and maiming for Spooky Month. Bye, everybody!